We wanted to create a super simple product for Zoom Room appliances. And what you're seeing in front of us today is we're in front of a rally bar. We've also got our new Logitech Sight AI center of table camera sitting here today. So you're seeing it right here. It comes in graphite and also in white as well, but very similar to the setup on the Intelligent Director room, but a simpler device that you don't have to worry about where are you mounting your cameras. And then we've got all that integration with Zoom as well. So similarly, we're kind of in a bowling alley type of room, but if I turn on the Logitech Sight camera, then you're gonna see that Sight is going to pick up all of the active speakers, and then it's going to frame them automatically so that you're seeing my face. The great part is, Mark, if you wanted to, you made good time over here, didn't you?
I sprinted all the way across the floor here, but this is nice. I'm able to talk to Davis. Oh, Davis, you healed well.
Doing great. You guys did a great job.
So got back to work quickly.
Yes, I am back to work and I'm ready to help Zoom and Logitech and all our customers.
Yeah, and this is such a natural thing, right, that's happening here. So we went in this space from a single camera a year ago to now we have 4 cameras in this space, picking up all different angles. No matter where I'm looking over here, it's going to go and find me whatever direction I'm at. So
that's pretty amazing because Mark, as you're talking to me, which is very natural, I'm talking, you're going to look at me.
Yep.
The audience is actually getting your front of face rather than normally they'd be getting your back of your ear or something like that. And so you're really able to get all of your facial gestures if you're looking really disappointed or if you're really looking really happy and excited about the innovation we're working on. Everyone's able to see that.
Yeah, we've had a lot of false starts with these technologies, right? There's been other companies that put cameras on the table and that's all they would do. But it didn't address when they were looking at the front of the room. So you can see this wide angle view that we're seeing in the room, and your eyes can always take you to wherever I'm looking at. So that's the nice thing about what we have here in this setup. And I can't tell you enough how much customers have been loving this setup. It's simple to set up. It's not a Pro AV advanced room. And Jason, tell us a little bit more about this device over here and what kind of things are coming.
Yeah, so with Logitech Sight, it supports up to 4 active speakers on the screen. So that way, you're really getting kind of, you're part of the conversation, and you feel like you're really part of being inside the meeting room. Sight has 2 4K cameras, both with 180-degree field of view, giving you a total of 315 degrees. And the reason why we do that is so that we don't frame the TVs at the front of the room.
That makes a lot of sense. Not only does Sight give you better video, but it also gives you better audio as well. Isn't that right, Davis?
Yes, yeah. The Sight itself actually has a built-in mic array and it's actually triangulating where we are. And what I like about this is if you look at the P and P, you guys will actually probably see the back of my head where I could actually address Jason, but through Sight, you get to see my interaction with Jason because when he says something very interesting, I could be very engaged.
We're getting all angles of you. The great thing is if you look in the picture-in-picture and if you look at how we're starting to be framed, you'll notice that Sight does keep in mind the orientation. So keeping us in the right order, not orientation, thank you. You're able to have that context. It's super natural, so you're not getting confused about who's sitting where. And then if Davis and I are talking to each other, we actually look like we're talking to each other in the Sight.
Absolutely, and what it does, it brings the people on the far end, they have a seat at the table, and we bring more equity to all these meetings.
So with that being said, Jason, did we get any questions out in the field out there that we might want to address now, or?
Yeah, so what about Sight and Intelligent Director? Is that going to be integrated together?
Great question. Great.
That's a great question. Well, I'll give you a little bit of a preview and hopefully I don't get into trouble about this, but we are looking at how do we continue to integrate. We've got great big plans for Sight. You'll see that we'll be innovating in a few different ways. One, we'll be able to be smart about whether we're pulling a Sight video of me or a rally bar image of me. So Davis turns and faces the front of the room, you might want to have rally bar frame as well. The other thing we're looking at in the coming months and not years is being able to do multi-stream capabilities as well. So when we are doing multi-stream capabilities, then we're going to be keying exactly into the Intelligent Director APIs and then bring Zoom Room's Intelligent Director to you through Sight.
You said a key thing there. Our developers, you guys have been pushing us really hard to get the APIs available to do this. At the end of the day, this is just another camera. So with Intelligent Director, if we can see this camera now with those APIs, we'll be able to crop people out in the space and put them into the different quadrants. And that's really where it gets exciting, right? Is when we bring these technologies together. Calendar Director works great when you have these really large rooms. We need to crop things out. We have these high quality Rally cameras, but in spaces like this where it's just a typical large conference room that's about 30 feet by 15 feet in width, this works perfect. We don't need to have cameras all throughout the space. So the site, or maybe additional sites maybe in the future,
Yeah.
be able to do things like that in a space like this,
That
right?
makes a lot of sense. Site does a great job in capturing a room like this, but if you do have one of these extra large boardrooms, we're also looking at the ability to daisy chain sites in the future. So you could have 2 sites here, so if you capture even more participants in the room. And then there's a lot of super great intelligence that our product teams have been working on together to be able to make sure that you're picking up people with the right cameras. There's going to be so many different cameras that are capturing you, even though it's not very oppressive in here. So being able to like capture the best face of Jason here, for example, whether that's from this site or from that site or from the rally bar in the front of the room.
Yeah. Davis, do you know, are there any settings that you need to change or that you can tweak on site?
Yeah, so as in launch date, it comes from presets, but we're actually working very closely with the Zoom team, and users know that there might be a speed and a drop off and how many people we hold. There'll be scenarios where like, hey, there's gonna be key positions, that we want to hold. That's all gonna be inside Logitech Sync, and we're excited to roll that out by the end of the year.
Love it. What other questions are we getting? Either about site or anything else that you've seen on the tour today. So keep the questions coming.
Yeah, what kind of a experience can you expect if you have 2 sites in a room?
Great point. So we will be smart about picking the best angle of your faces. From a user standpoint, you really don't need to worry about that. Between Logitech and Zoom, will be really intelligent about picking the right angle. And then so depending on where you're sitting, you might get picked up by one site or the other site or the rally bar in the front of the room.
So does that mean, would you see a total of 8 people if you have 2 sites in the room, or how would that work?
That's a great question. It's probably a great question for our product teams. Our vision eventually is to get to the point where we are doing multi-stream, and then you are able to see everyone in the room. So whether that's, if you think about Smart Gallery today, getting a view of everybody in the room, but then be able to have a special focus on your active speakers, we'll be bringing all that intelligence when that comes together.
Yeah, the real goal in a large space like this is to be able to get everybody, prop them up into a Smart Gallery quadrant, or a regular gallery quadrant, or Zoom meetings. And I think the technology is really getting us to that point. That's where our customers are pushing us towards. Is we want to see Sarah, Jason, and Davis in this space like you were at your home office in that beautiful setup we had at the beginning of the tour. We want to get that experience into a Zoom meeting. And of course, this technology is going to allow us to do that with Logi and Zoom together. And that's the goal. So we're working really hard to bring this together. The innovation that's happening now in the next year or 2 is going to trump what we did the past 20 years. So that's how fast the speed's moving now, based on what we've seen in these last few years.
Love it. And then Davis, I noticed you got your laptop open. It's amazing, if you talk a bit, it's amazing to see how that your laptop's not even blocking your face, even though you're sitting pretty low.
Yeah, so the product team here at Logitech worked very hard on this particular product, right? I do have a MacBook Pro 15, which is right here with my little frog friend. And we measure the height of the average people around the world, and we kind of averaged it out. And we made sure to position the camera as where everyone's captured very nicely. And also, laptops, even the 16-inch MacBook Pros, do not cover the lens. And one of the things I really love about this feature that I'm not sure if everyone's really noticing, but with our auto framing, it's cropping us all the same height. I'm actually a shorter person. I'm about 5 feet nothing, but it makes me look like I'm 5'8", which makes me feel really good about myself.
I also thought that was a great demo. Davis, you're what we would call a fidgeter. You do move when you're talking. And it's pretty smooth. We're able to auto frame, but then we're trying to make sure that we're not making it disorienting as well. So if you move too quickly, actually, we won't follow you because that's very disorienting.
Correct. If you really pay attention to what Logitech has done with all of our auto framing, is we focus on cinematic panning, right? And even with the dropping of participants and adding of participants, we are very cognizant of that because we know that that could be disorienting for the users.
You know what I just love about this space is, in the past you had to zoom in, zoom out, move the camera around. we're just having this natural conversation, not worrying about all that, and the foreign participants get the joy of seeing everybody as they're talking. So this is really hitting the spot here, right? So, kudos to you and development team, a Logi team. It was such a great creation here.
A great partnership.
So we have a comment that the audio is really great in this room. Are there microphones inside? And
That's a great point. Go ahead.
Guys, this is my favorite part. So here at Logitech, right, what we have done in our Rally Bar systems, as our Rally Bar Minis, is we always had expanded audio. And if you can see inside the P&P, we actually have 2 additional mic pods in the room. And one of my favorite things that I want to bring up is instantly from an installer perspective or IT perspective, like, hey, there's going to be a lot of cables running back to the bar. Not necessarily. What we have done is inside the site itself, there is expansion ports for the mics, right, Mark? It was so easy, right? It's very easy. New dongle that we developed, and we're able to connect additional mic pods right off of the site. For Rally Bar, it's going to be quite expandable. The site is 1 mic pod, and you add 2 more, right? And additional to 2 hubs. So you're able to route the wires. With Rally Bar Mini, you're able to add 2 to that too. So,
and just to comment on that, when we first started doing these tours here at Zoom headquarters, we had just the Rally Bar and the embedded microphones, and they work great. However, it's challenging because we have glass, and no matter what type of technology you have, glass makes it challenging because of the echoing and the bouncing of the audio. And again, thanks for the comment on the remote attendee, because what you're seeing here is the power of these microphones are now eliminating that reverberation that we're having, and that's a very powerful thing, because I think it's so easy to get stuck in so much advanced Pro AV work in here to eliminate that glass, but you guys were able to accomplish it with all the microphones you have with the site and then the 2 additional pucks. It's great work.
Yep.
Thanks, Mark. And the great thing is that if you do have a medium-sized room, we're in quite a large room. But if you're in a medium-sized room, site does act as a microphone pod, so you don't need to add additional mic pods on the table. It does provide you already that better audio. But since we are in a larger room, we elected to add additional microphone pods. And so since Rally Bar does up to 4 mic pods, you could actually even add an additional mic pod, which would be pretty overkill. But if you end up with a much longer table, then maybe that's something you'd want.
Because how easy is it to connect the site back to a Rally Bar or a Rally Bar Mini?
Oh, yeah, great question. And whoever that person is, you're my favorite new friend. So here at Logitech, we know that wiring is very difficult, and what we have done is going forward too. A lot of our connection will be Cat 6. So there's 1 Cat 6 cable from this site running back to the bar. Home run.
Love it.
So, I know we've kind of done this demo in the past, but what happens if we all go on one side of the table? Does I frame everybody?
So we're proud of our product, guys, and because someone asked the question, we will do it. Sarah, let's go on this side.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
We're really pushing limits here.
I'll show a couple demos while we're on the way. So if I go ahead and stand up here, you'll notice that the site has no problem framing me, even though I'm standing quite close to the site device as well. So you're not seeing a warped video or anything like that. It feels very natural. And you'll notice that my eye line is on the same height as Jason's. So this is also one of Davis' favorite features, being a height challenged person.
And there's a lot of height equity inside the site. I'm standing, and again, I'm a tad shorter than everyone else, but Sarah takes a seat right here with Jason, and we all go down and do the conductions. Mark?
Yeah, so I'm sitting down still, and the nice thing over here is it feels super awkward that we're all on the same side. There's only 4 of us here, but maybe we're waiting for our customer to show up.
Yeah.
We want to take a stance on this side of the table.
Yeah, so this is completely ad hoc, and you'll notice that site is framing us all at the same height. So this actually does work. Obviously, when you have a long table like this, site is able to frame everybody within that 315-degree field of view.
You'll notice that Jason would normally be blocked my left shoulder here, but site's able to capture him perfectly fine.
Yep, and again, you have the physiotomy that's set in the back, and you look at the P&P, we're all in different positions, and site is powerful. It's able to capture all 4 of us and also provide the correct audio. So we are very proud of this product.
And we're just getting started is a beautiful thing. I know we've already hit it, but eventually this will be tied into Intelligent Director. You're gonna be able to daisy chain multiple of them. take advantage of the microphones. There's so much software upgrade, a lot of processing power left to take advantage of that. This is the type of technology we need to see in these spaces in order to give that perfect, equitable experience to anyone who's not in the space. So much more to come. I think that's why he ended up in the hospital. Actually.
Too much caffeine. Well, actually, what I'm really trying to show off the background while Mark was speaking is that for villagers, right? Again, this is part of our cinematic panic, right? We'll find you and slowly crop you correctly. It's not going to just jump cut. I think that's a huge differentiator for Logitech.
Yeah.
The other thing I will highlight that you'll see in the room picture that we are reframing the fact that we're all on one side of the table, which is very odd. You are seeing that Rally Bar is framing us, so you're not getting a lot of dead pixels.
And another note here is that for those early adopters that bought Rally Bar when it first came out, it was that device, but look at this now, right? Yeah. So there was so much more roadmap to even that product. You guys were able to build a site, attach it to that bar, and now just like that, we have that capability. And it's an extension of the Rally Bar, which I like, because again, we had the false start with a lot of those third-party cameras that would sit in the middle of the table, but they wouldn't do much. You would always for sure get the side of someone's head. And now with this, it just extends that Rally Bar more and allows you to have way more roadmap. I mean, that's just super impressive.
So, site is really cool. When is this available? Is it shipping now? Like, how do
That's a great question. So yes, as of the end of last week, site is now shipping. So we've got plenty of inventory and distribution. So go ahead and place your orders now. And we're really excited to get this in the hands and the rooms of all of you.